Peace, love, shalom, family. I wanted to talk to you guys tonight about something special, something real special. It's called love. This is not a sermon, as I always state that beforehand. This is more of a testimony for tonight. This is a testimony. And the reason why it's a testimony for me is because if you know me a couple years ago, you would know why this is a testimony for me. But I'll say this to you. Growing up as a kid, I've always been a loving being, very gentle, harmless. At one point I was too soft, but the devil came in and he deranged that, and it made me too hard, angry. Pain made me bitter. Hatred was stored in this temple, and I couldn't get nowhere, and I didn't understand why I couldn't get nowhere. But the pain made me so bitter and so angry at everybody and everything. I can hold a grudge longer than Satan. I would hold a grudge probably longer than the devil himself. And to have people recently mistreating me. And I'm human, so I'm gonna get angry. I'm human, so I got angry. But I noticed that the anger was different. Even the anger wasn't the same. It was an anger without sin. I was more of a upset because of the unjust actions that were shown toward me, but I just couldn't hate the person. And then I turned around and I prayed for the person. And this is not a boast. I'm telling you a testimony. I'm going to get to it. I was able to pray for the person that was trying to get me in trouble, that was trying to flip things off on me. And I was able to pray for the person and bless them while they were cursing me. You know what kind of accomplishment that is? Everybody think that job promotions and getting new cars and houses and all these, getting jobs and getting money and getting the bag, they think those are the only things that can be an accomplishment. But turning hate to love and allowing God to do that for me in the inside, for me, that's a huge deal. Huge, huge deal. The devil tried to turn me into a demon. He tried to turn me into a Saul before he became Paul type of situation. I don't think y'all understand me tonight. I don't think you understand what I'm saying to you. The anger and the bitterness that the devil that he did put inside of me, not even tried to, he put inside of me. Jesus' love officially have overcome that. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I don't get angry. I'm not saying that it'll never happen again. But what I'm telling you is this. I was able to love on the person that hated me. I was able to love on the person that came against me, that tried to set up a trap. But here I am trying to reason with someone that is being a jerk to me. That's a big deal. And I noticed that now when I get mad, I can't stay mad at people anymore for too long. I can't hate them. I just can't. It's like they start being nice to me and then boom, I forgive you immediately. And even see, this is the big deal. Even when they weren't nice to me, I still was able to forgive when they wasn't nice to me. But I just can't seem to stay angry anymore at people. When they do things, I pray for them and keep it moving. And that's growth. That's maturity. Turn that down some. That's growth. That's maturity. When I was a child, I spoke as a child. I did this, I did that. But when I became a man, I put aside all childish things. And God is so good. This job was a nightmare when I first started it. But oh God, what it's turning me into. It's turning me into pure gold. And now don't fight the process. Some of y'all are going through some process right now in your life that you're trying to avoid. Stop trying to avoid it. Because God is molding you and He's shaping you in the storm. In the storm, He's growing you. In the storm, He's showing you how to trust Him, how to trust in Him, how to believe who He is. He's taken away all your support, all your physical support. He's just stripping you of all your physical support so that you can understand who He is. He's allowing certain things to happen so that you'll trust it, that you'll officially trust Him. He wants you to trust Him. Without faith, you cannot please God. And I no longer fight the process. I stopped fighting the process. This process was treacherous, and even as the days go by, it seemed to be getting worse and worse. But I can finally say, because of who has made me and who it's making me become, I thank God for the process. None of the men in that Bible grew without the process. It's a process. Some healings happen like that, but some healings are a process. Some deliverances, just like that, but then some deliverances take time. This kind of spirit comes out through fasting and praying. What is fasting and praying? That's a process. Stop fighting the process and allow God to do what He's doing so that you can come out like pure gold. Because I'm watching God deliver me literally through a job. Who would have thought? People would have thought, oh, to get delivered from the spirit of anger, you got to be thrown up in a pail and demons showing up, head turning around like Linda Blair. It don't always, sometimes it can show up like that, but it's not always that way. Everybody's road is different. Everybody's road is not the same, but I'm literally watching God deliver me slowly from the spirit of anger and wrath through a job. At a job, you can't just flare up off at the handle and go in somebody's mouth at a job, especially when you got bills. See, God's smart. He knows what He's doing. He's putting me in situations where it's forcing me to have self-control. And a lot of us, we don't have self-control. Whether it be in your diet, whether it be in your sexual life, whether it be in your intellect. No matter what it is, a lot of us are lacking self-control. Especially in them diets. That's another old video. Ouch, amen. But I say all that to say this. Thank God for the process. Many of you are going through a process. Don't fight the process. Continuously allow God to bend you, stretch you, shape you, and mold you. And you will not regret the aftermath of God's unchanging hand on your life. You won't. You just won't. And I'm just grateful that today I can say, wow, I can't hate anybody. Like, I try to be mad and try to stay mad at the person, but I just can't stay mad. I can't stay angry. And see, these are the fruits of the Spirit. Forgiveness, love, gentleness. Like, it's literally coming out. Now, I'm not saying I'm no pushover. I mean, you still don't want no smoke. You know what I mean? You don't want no smoke. But all seriousness, I'm literally watching God change me. All seriousness, I'm watching Him change me, shape me, and mold me just through life trials and experiences. And I just can't wait to see the rest of the process. And a lot of us, we're fighting, just fighting the process, fighting, and we keep starting over and starting over and starting over and starting over and starting over again, because you just keep fighting the process. You're fighting God's time. You're fighting that timeline, and just keep getting rerouted over and over again. You feel like you can't get out. You could have been out a long time ago, but you're fighting the process. Stop fighting the process. Don't fight the process. Stop hating people. Stop hating people. It's not that easy. I know, Jamel. I know. Trust me. I know it's not that easy. I can share some stories with you. You would be like, well, why are you even still talking to this person? There's a time when you gotta cut some ties and let people go and forgive them from a distance. But then there's also a time where you can forgive someone and move on and let bygones be bygones and remain cool, cordial. Nah, you have to hate nobody. If your father walked out on you, it happened. There's nothing you can do about it, whether he came back and said sorry or not. It happened. It happened. I'm not just with this attitude like get over it. I know things happen and trauma takes place from things happening. I know that. I know that. Trust me, I know that. But Jesus died on the cross. That happened too. And he forgave you when you weren't worth forgiving. He died for you when you weren't worth dying for. The moment that we became disobedient and rebellious, he could have wiped us away immediately. Said, away, get away. Away from me, you worker of iniquity. I want nothing to do with you. He could have just easily just wiped you out with no questions asked. But there was something, no matter how disgusting and wretched and evil we were,